So good morning. Thank you so much for joining RISE today on our Rise and Shine Parent Leadership Program. My name is Jeanette Vega. I'm the training director at RISE, for those that don't know me. And I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about how we started the Rise and Shine Parent Leadership Program.
People don't talk about child welfare. People don't talk about being involved in this system because there's a stereotype that every parent or every family that's been involved in child welfare is that they've horribly and horrendously abuse their children. And so people don't feel comfortable saying, I've had struggles, right? We know that, especially when it comes to parenthood and motherhood, that there's an expectation that you're always gonna get it right and that you're gonna be perfect.
At RISE, usually we have our public speaking workshop and we have our writing workshop, and that's how parents used to come into RISE, just randomly. And what we saw was that we didn't have a direct entryway for parents to come to RISE and all have the same basic knowledge that we all have, so we can all work through the same baseline.
Wednesday's writing workshop, they start to conversate about the lesson that they're gonna learn on Monday, so they can start getting into this is gonna be difficult. You know, you're gonna learn something that's gonna maybe trigger something in you, and you're like, what am I feeling? And that's our job, right? Is to help you understand what you're feeling and support you on feeling, actually letting yourself feel those things. And then the public speaking on Thursday kind of just connects it.
So we practice everything from how to manage anxiety around public speaking, how to project your voice, how to really make eye contact, really how to get a message across clearly as well. A lot of times with the stories that we tell at RISE, there's a lot of trauma behind it. There's a lot of pieces to it, a lot of complexity to it. So being able to tell a story that's succinct, that's concise, and really has a clear message and a clear recommendation, a clear ask behind it as well. And that takes a lot of power, but it also takes a lot of managing self as well.
And then my favorite part is the knowledge. So we just started giving parents knowledge about topics that child welfare has, so trauma, toxic stress, court 101, right, what is the court process and what is the flow in the court for parents having a child welfare case.
What was the most challenging part of the course? It was making myself vulnerable, because that's not something I'm really used to having to do. But I feel like it made me a better person.
It's not going to be easy to share your story or to speak about it, but the end result is going to be something that you're going to be proud of.
And what we talked about a lot this year at the Rise and Shine program was that parents always know the solutions, right? They're the ones that are dealing with the problems, and they always know the solutions. They know themselves the best. They know their children the best. And oftentimes it's because they're not being listened to why they end up in the situations that they're in. It's not because they don't want better for themselves or they don't want better for their children. It's that they're constantly being ignored and silenced. And so for me, storytelling is about breaking that silence, about really saying that I have the tools within inside of me, and what I really need is for people to support me in that.
This storytelling is very important to other parents involved in the child welfare system. These stories get printed.
Can you tell me this parent's family's needs and goals? All right, thank you. See, the point of this activity was to introduce the topic of our presentation. Child welfare treats us as if they know us better than we know ourselves. But see, ACS is a system, and systems are one size fits all. And families, we come in different shapes and sizes, and our needs differ the same.
So many times we wanted to say, I am a parent, the doctor, the teacher, the cook, the nurse, and the nurturer. Who can protect my child better than I?
After my children were taken, I was in shock. My pain was real, but I took all of that and focused on proving ACS and my daughter's lawyers wrong.
His time in care was painful for me. I didn't think anyone was on my side. I felt alone in my pain. I felt like the only person in the world going through this.
None of it felt like it was enough. Although I tried hard, nothing worked out for us.
I found all the services myself because I truly believed their mission was to make sure I never got my children back.
You heard from parents today about the feeling of being in a never-ending revolving door of system involvement. Many of us describe feeling defeated when we look for answers on how to deal with our issues at home. When our children needed support, we got little to no help from schools. When we searched for resources in our own communities, we didn't know where to start or who to ask. When we tried to discipline, we were labeled as monsters.
want to say thank you guys so much, because throughout this program, I was supposed to teach you guys how to be leaders, and you guys taught me how to be a leader.
The graduation. Honestly, you got the certificate and you realize that you did it. That was the most rewarding part.
The most rewarding part of the class would have to be now, being able to say that I completed it, the pride in my children's faces, and the fact that it's moving me in a position to where I can help more people on a larger platform.
I think a program like RISE, where parents are heard, where they're listened to, where they're considered experts, where their experiences and their insights are important, is what all family-serving systems need.
I think at RISE, we're really at a point where we're understanding more and more what it means to really build parent power. I think we came from a place where, we just wanted to get our foot in the door, right? We just wanted to have people hear parent stories and really for people to understand that the system is very complex and the families that are being put into the system are very complex. And that's important, but I think we're understanding more and more that parents need to have real power within the system. So what I see as the future of this and what can happen from this is that we're really teaching parents to understand power dynamics. We're really teaching them how to understand the child welfare system, and we're really teaching them what it means to be an expert in this system and to take up space.
In court, a lot of the time, we don't get a voice. At the agencies, we don't get a voice. Dealing with child welfare, period, no matter what we say, we really don't get a voice. So it gives us a platform to be able to tell our story, and it also inspires other parents.
I don't think you can get that empowerment from anywhere else. The way the program just came together and it flowed together, it's only something you could get at RISE.